So today we're going to talk about how to brew the Chemex at home. And the coffee that I will be using will be the light medium roast Scopes Up. So most important thing you can do at home is have a good grinder and always make sure you pre-wet your filter and your brewing vessel. This will help your coffee stay hot and fresh, as well as the main reason for pre-wetting the filter is to make sure you rinse out any of the paper flavor characteristics so you don't get that into your coffee. So like I said, pre-wet your filter and pre-wet your drinking vessels. So what I'm going to be doing here is a 16:1 brewing ratio. So I will be using 25 grams of coffee to 400 grams of water. And if you're brewing at home and you want consistency, make sure you get yourself a scale. You will be amazed how much it helps with your cup quality at home. So once everything's heated up and pre-wetted, we can now grind our coffee. So I'm using a medium fine grind here. And what I'm going to do, add the 25 grams of coffee. Make sure we get every little bit. And now I'm going to add 50 grams of water at 203 degrees for my bloom. And the reason we're doing a bloom is we want to make sure we saturate all the grounds and allow all of the CO2 to be released. And this is important, especially when you're using fresh coffee. So this part's going to go for about 45 seconds. And one of the best parts I find with a Chemex is it really showcases the subtle nuances in a coffee. The filter is really fine, so it filters out a lot of the sediment. So you're left with a lot more clarity in your cup. So some of those subtle characteristics tend to be on the forefront of your coffee. Okay, so once the bloom is done, we are now going to add 150 grams of water. And you want to make sure you pour in a circular motion to allow for even extraction. If you were to pour straight down the middle, what you're going to do is you're going to over extract the center and under extract the outside. So you want to make sure you keep a lot of turbulence and keep the grounds moving so you get an even extraction. And what we're going to do is this part is now going to brew for 2 minutes and 30 seconds before we add our next pulse of water. So like I said, for me, the Chemex is one of my favorite brew methods because it showcases the subtle characteristics of the coffee. There is nothing that is being hidden in the cup. But it's not the best brew method if you're in a rush, because you do need to stay here and you need to be focused. It takes a little bit more time than if you're doing a Hario or if you're doing a French press. So now that we're at 2.5 minutes, we are going to add our next 100 grams of water to take us to 300 grams total. And again, pouring in a circular motion to allow even extraction of the coffee. And this is going to go for about 3.5 minutes. But for you people brewing at home, one of the most important tools you can have is get yourself a good grinder, because consistency will always be key. Just like anything else you do, if you want good quality and consistency, make sure you are precise with every step you do. So weigh your coffee, have a consistent grind, have a consistent water temperature, and keep everything the same. As you understand more through your brewing and your experimentation, then you can start deviating between your grounds and your water temperature, because it will have a massive impact on your coffee. Okay, so now we're doing our last stage, and we're going to take this up to 400 degrees, or 400 grams of water. So if you're one of the people that like more of an acidity in your coffee, more of the upfront characteristics, upfront flavors, then a Chemex is one I would recommend trying at home, because it does completely change your profile of your coffee versus a French press or a drip machine or Hario. I find this is one of the brew methods that really showcases some of the characteristics of the coffee. Okay, and now our cups that we have preheated, we'll just dump the water out. And then at 5 minutes, our brew is done. Now it's time to enjoy our coffee.